You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Thursday, June 18th. I'm Johnny Kahner. Thank you for listening and watching Four Things to Know today. Let's get to our first thing to know. A new report came out today that details what a worldwide human rights nonprofit called, quote, widespread abuse during Operation Metro Surge. This comes after the Department of Justice announced indictments against 15 Minnesotans earlier this week. WCCO's Jason Rantala has more on that report. You'll also hear from Ida Sawyer. She is with the Human Rights Watch.
That 180-page report was just released by Human Rights Watch. They detailed some of the key points here at Mondale Hall at the U just about an hour ago. They say they interviewed over 100 people across the state, but they say there could be thousands more with similar tales of injustice. Now, Human Rights Watch, that's a nonprofit that reports on abuses across the world. They spoke with immigrants, lawyers, and government officials, among others. And again, they say they found the same story, people swept up by federal officers based only on their race. Of the roughly 4,000 immigrants detained during Operation Metro Surge, the report found the vast majority had no criminal convictions. Also, they say the majority of cases resolved this year resulted in an order of release, meaning those arrests were unjustified.
One provider told us about 3 teenagers who attempted suicide after their parents were detained. The consequences of this will likely be felt for years. And all of this fell hardest on people of color and immigrant families.
Now, in this report, they detailed several dozen areas where they have recommendations for local and federal officials. They're calling for sweeping reforms over at DHS, including more oversight. They also want those responsible for abuses to be prosecuted if that is necessary. We've also reached out to DHS for comment.
Number 2 today, the Minneapolis Park Board has decided to close a popular dog park because it is on sacred tribal land. The Minnehaha Off-Leash Dog Park is in Minnehaha Regional Park. It's on the banks of the Mississippi River. That area is now believed to be a Native American burial site. The park has welcomed four-legged friends for more than 30 years, but just last year, an archaeological study found the land is actually a sacred site for the Dakota community. The Park Board Committee consulted with a Native American Advisory Council and then passed a resolution in early June that would decommission the space. So park goers gathered petitions, and last night, after nearly 36 community members took the stand, the full board voted to close the park off to dogs.
You're a guest. You're a guest. You're a guest here.
Minnehaha is all we have. It's the only place left.
It was taken. It was stolen, 100%. I agree with that. I do agree that maybe we can find some sort of middle ground.
The board will close the park's off-leash area by the end of this year. It will remain open to visitors, but dogs will have to stay on a leash.
No end to 10,000 lakes. It does seem obscene that we have only one safe and legal area to recreate with our dogs in the water.
The animals are coming in there using the restroom in the area. They're unwatched and, basically defecating on the sacred land. So we feel it's very disrespectful.
And number 3 today is another story about a four-legged friend, but it's not related. Authorities said a Twin Cities dog had to be euthanized because it was deemed dangerous. So those authorities picked the dog up, but then his owner stole it from an animal hospital where it was being held. This is all according to a criminal complaint. St. Paul police took the dog a couple weeks ago, and just 5 days after, police learned a man had entered that animal hospital with a crowbar and triggered an alarm. And then just 2 days after that break-in, someone stole the dog. They then learned it was that man who had broken in because he was all caught on camera. That 39-year-old man is charged with 1 count of possession of burglary or theft tools. WCCO has reached out to police and the dog's owner for more information. We'll keep you updated. Number 4 today, 2 heroes in Anoka County. 2 transit workers are being celebrated for their actions. They are Benjamin Highland and Matthew Brisson. They noticed a man who appeared to need help at Coon Lake Beach while they were working. The 2 men then jumped into action when they saw the man had a gun and planned to shoot himself, and then they stopped it from happening. The Anoka County Sheriff awarded them medals of valor for their bravery and said their courage and selflessness are nothing short of remarkable. Those are the 4 things to know today. Let's check in now on our next weather forecast.
Hey guys, next weather meteorologist Adam Del Rosso checking in. Things pretty calm and quiet as we head into tonight. Just a few passing clouds. Temperatures still on the comfy side. We fall back in the low to mid 50s tonight. Average low temperature this time of year is right around 60. We head into our day tomorrow. We'll start off with just some clouds, but we could see a few showers by late morning, early afternoon. A couple of storms even through the afternoon that might try and bring some wind and hail. There is a marginal level 1 out of 5 threat for any of those storms to reach severe limits, so a lower end risk, but non-zero. Temperatures tomorrow topping off in the mid 70s, so a little bit warmer. Weekend looking great with more sunshine on Saturday and temperatures staying in the mid 70s.
And now, here's more to know.
A St. Paul man is charged with posting videos threatening to assassinate Mayor Kali Hur. Prosecutors say he put the videos on YouTube just hours after the deadly attack of Melissa and Mark Hortman last summer. And at that time last year, Hur was a Democratic state lawmaker who was running for mayor. She told authorities she learned about videos that, quote, called on the Hmong community to kill her. The Hennepin County attorney charged that 49-year-old man with threats of violence and harassment. Mayor Hur told investigators she felt concerned for herself and terrified for her family. The man should make his first court appearance in July. To another story we've been following this week, authorities arrested 2 more anti-ICE protesters accused of impeding agents during and after Operation Metro Surge. These 2 new arrests were part of 15 people charged on Tuesday. Everyone that has been arrested by federal officers has been released so far, except for 1 person. Prosecutors had asked the judge for a cash bail, but that judge ended up releasing them on the condition they don't protest on federal property or communicate with their co-defendants. One of the protesters charged is a man named Eric Davis. He's a professor of religious studies at Macalester College in St. Paul. Davis is formally charged with conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer. Davis is mentioned in the indictment as being at meetings with some of the others who were charged and sending messages to the protest group. But his attorney, Jordan Kushner, told us neither of those things are actually a crime. He also says he believes prosecutors appear to have had inside information, possibly from a plant inside some of those protest groups.
They probably had an informant or an undercover agent who probably recorded the conversations and recorded the private messaging through signal chats. And, it's disturbing that the government is putting its resources into spying on political activists.
Community organizers believe the recent indictments are meant to discourage protests. They say protesters did exercise their constitutional rights by monitoring federal operations, documenting interactions, and alerting neighbors when ICE agents were present. Organizer Emilia Gonzalez Avalos is the executive director of Unidos MN. She says the government's account does not actually reflect what she saw during the surge.
It is clear where the mass violence came from, and I think this is an attempt to shift guilt, to shift the narrative, because thousands of constitutional observers and thousands of Minnesotans have a lot of evidence that the violence did not come from regular people here.
Meanwhile, prosecutors are trying to block an ICE agent's road rage case from going to federal court. Charges say that the agent cut traffic and then pointed a gun at a driver on Highway 62, and traffic cameras actually captured those cars swerving. Gregory Morgan's defense team says he was acting as a federal officer at the time, so it's a federal case. But yesterday, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office said the case should stay in state court because they did not, quote, explain how pointing a gun at a motorist is connected in any way to his duties as federal immigration agent. Morgan did turn himself in to face the 2 assault charges last month. The Maryland man is out on bond right now. Let's talk sports. The Twins have their final game against the Rangers today. We've won 3 in a row. Let's go. Don't plan the parade just yet, though. Early afternoon game down in Texas. Hopefully they can make it 4. The Frost added to their arsenal last night in the PWHL draft. They selected Sarah Sidursky with the number 9 overall pick. She is a skilled defenseman from Ohio State University. Wait. the Ohio State University. How could I forget that? She should make an immediate impact, Mike Mack says. The Gophers' former forward Abby Murphy, she was taken number 2 overall by Seattle. That just adds to her storied career that included, of course, a spot on the U.S. gold medal Olympic team. And the Special Olympic USA Games are almost here, and the Flame of Hope has been on a journey across the state. Tuesday, the torch was up in Duluth. Yesterday, in Hibbing, Brainerd, and Alexandria. Today, there are several stops down in Watertown, Rochester, Red Wing, and then up to Bloomington. And tomorrow, the Flame will stay in the metro ahead of Saturday's opening ceremony at Huntington Bank Stadium. And since these, of course, are the USA Games, athletes from all over the country will be here competing, but some will be in front of a hometown crowd like Lucy Hogland. Lucy has competed at the games before in gymnastics, but this year she's running. She's doing the 400, 800, and 1,500 meter races. She's one of 4 Bethel University Build alumni representing our state this year. Build, that's a 2-year transition and post-secondary program that provides the full college experience for students with intellectual disabilities. The program director is Dawn Allen, and she says the key is inclusion.
They can do it. They can go to college. They can move away from home and have their own place. They can have incredible jobs, and they can compete very well at high levels through things like the USA Games.
Me at Bethel has helped me a lot. It gives me confidence.
And you just heard from Lucy there. And after embracing college life, she moved into her own apartment, secured a job. Her first race of the games will be on Monday. The finals are on Thursday. We will be, of course, cheering Lucy on.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
Back by popular demand, the big honking truck parade tonight. Yeah, that's right. Get ready to see a convoy of public safety, construction, big wheel trucks. They're going down Nicollet Mall tonight. It starts at 5:30 right outside WCCO studios. There's also going to be a craft and food market, plus a chance to get up close to the vehicles, make some fun memories with your family. And this is the best part, if I say so myself. WCCO is getting in on the fun again. You could meet Chris Schaefer tonight, our chief meteorologist. Wow, what a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Make sure to get down there and meet Chris. Give him a hard time for me, okay? Well, I'm Johnny Kahner. This has been 4 Things to Know. We, of course, are here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Thanks so much for listening today, for watching us on YouTube. We hope you have a good Thursday night. Go down to the truck park or whatever you do. Just make sure you tune in tomorrow.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.